I got so embarrassed. Like, I thought I could speak German in Turkey, but I went to Germany, I couldn't speak it. Ich bin nach Deutschland gezogen und trotzdem habe ich daran gescheitert, mich effektiv mit Leuten zu kommunizieren. Aber natürlich hängt das nicht nur an die Sprache, sondern an mein Verhalten. Und wenn man die Kultur nicht lernt, ben Oğuzcan, Türkçe konuşuyorum, ana dilim Türkçe, robot gibi sesim gelse de şu an aslında Türkçe konuşuyorum. Hello guys, today I want to talk about learning language. So, I'm a Turkish native speaker and I'm a monolingual person. Like, I was born in a family who speaks only Turkish, so I learned English and German. After learning German, I came to Germany, but the day I came to Germany, I realized I did a fatal mistake while learning language. Today I want to give you an idea. I want to talk about that mistake so you avoid being the same. Guys, like when you look at native speakers, they speak by heart. Like they put a feeling into each word and meaning into each word. They like let's handle a native speaker. They're raised in a family. They were born in a family. So the family members, they're native speakers. They speak the language. And the reason they speak the language is they want to convey a feeling. They want to explain their thoughts. They discuss. So they use words as a tool. Like they use those words, those sentences to convey their feelings, to like tell you about their thoughts. But the mistake most language learners does, like I did, they associate learning language with memorizing words and sentences. And when they have a huge a big bank of words in mind, or they are good at grammatic, like building sentences grammatically, they think they know the language. It is totally wrong. Let's handle my case. I did the same. In high school, I learned German. Like, I got literally C1 certificate, which was proving that I could speak German. Then I moved to Germany for my studies. And the day I moved to Germany, I faced a harsh reality. Because none of the things I learned at school, like in my small bubble with students, with teachers, and maybe you sometimes speak to native speakers, none of these things work in Germany because people learn a language with a culture. Like learning language itself doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Like if you don't know the culture, like if you don't know how those people think or how they used to think, you can just like learn the language. You can call it learning. So I came to Germany, and when I told to people, I realized like I was grammatically super right. Like I was putting sentences, words together, but people, they don't understand it. And you don't understand what people say neither, because they think different. They talk with their culture. Even if a word has the same meaning or slightly different, it doesn't necessarily mean they use that word. And that word at that position, at that, like for conveying a feeling, they don't necessarily use this word. If I had learned German from scratch again, my advice for you is, while learning a language, like any language, for example, Japanese, if you want to go to Japan, like if you start learning a language, also learn the culture, also learn how people think. So never try to directly translate what you know in your language to other. It doesn't work. Translations between languages, it is a scam. Like translation between language without feeling, without culture, without figuring out how the way that they think, it is super wrong. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, believe me. The difference is, in my case, I learned German. I learned German by my own, with my schoolmates, with my teachers, and on YouTube. Like I didn't have many native speakers around me. And when I went to Germany, it was a total disaster for me, because you invested so many years in a language, you can't even use it. Look, you can use that language to read books like academics. It works totally fine because it's academics. But when you go to street, when you go to daily life, When you try to be one of them, one of those people, it doesn't work because you don't know the culture. If you learn a language, if you memorize words and call it learning a language, it is totally wrong. Learn the culture alongside the language so you can associate them. You can change the way you think. Once you figure out that how those people think, then you become one of them. This is the key. For me, I speak English as well. Like, I'm not a native speaker, but I learned English by words and also by movies. Like, I got I got exposed to so much content in English, like including movies. Like, you can imagine anything. If I go to US, I think I can communicate clearly. Like, I will have some difficulties as well, but because I watch so many US movies, right? Sometimes I don't. There's like cases where I don't understand anything neither. Like, it's a cultural thing. When I went to German, I haven't watched any German movie in my life, like just except for a couple of movies. I had no idea about their culture. Believe me, it is not just beer, brezel, or like whatever you call it. It's not that simple. When I went to Germany, I had the biggest disaster of my life. I got so embarrassed. Like, I thought I could speak German in Turkey, but I went to Germany, I couldn't speak it. So guys, I'm telling you this so you don't waste your years by assuming or by lying to yourself. Like, be honest with yourself. So you don't waste those years by just calling it learning a language. If you want to learn a language truly, learn the culture as well. Because you need to love the culture, you need to love the country to really learn the language. I mean, learn it effectively. So my advice for you can take out of this video, my advice: culture and language are bound, two things are bound so closely you can't separate them. If you just learn a language by words and sentences, then I believe, as many people do, you will fail. But if you can combine it with culture and learn together, like learn both things together simultaneously, I think you will succeed. You will succeed in whatever language you want. You will succeed in moving to whatever country you want. This is the key. Okay guys, so to summarize in this brief video, really, like, I'm talking you out of my experience, not just like making up something. Like, not everyone gets the chance. Like, you learn a language, for example Spanish, and you go to Spain and try to practice it, try to integrate for years. Can you believe? But still you fail. This is the reason why I want to make this video. So just make sure, no matter how talented you are, just make sure you learn the culture and you learn how the people think by maybe by speaking to native speakers, or just learn like reading, listening and watching content from that country. Once you know how those people think, then you can figure out the language so easily. It is never about memorizing words or just building sentences grammatically super correct. This is not the strategy I would recommend. To conclude, I totally recommend you to learn the culture and learn how people think rather than just memorizing words or sentences. Once you figure out how people think, in some cases, it depends on culture, people think differently. I think once you learn it, you will figure out the language so easily, and you will separate yourself from thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people who are doing the same mistake. Those people, they claim they can speak a language just because they can say a couple of sentences or words. This is totally wrong. This is totally misleading. Don't make the same mistake.